Welcome to Unscripted. Thanks for joining us at 6:30. It's Monday, and our day seemed to finish off, at least while it was sunny outside, very pretty compared to how it started. As we bring in our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix, are things supposed to stay kind of nice tonight into tomorrow?
Yeah, it should be pretty good. I knew we were going to get rain last night, but you know how I knew we work late, so in the mornings we're sleeping, or I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I heard it just pounding on the window this morning. Yeah, the rain's there. But then, this afternoon it cleared out. We had some sunshine, nice afternoon and evening. And to your point, it looks pretty good tomorrow. We're kind of in a scenario right now, Cody, where it's like every other day we're going to get chances for rain. So, get rain, then you get a dry day. And then some rain and a dry day. So that's kind of how that's going to set up. We'll look at that. And one more thing, too. Snow.
Oh, boy.
In the forecast.
Here we go.
I'll tell you when a little later.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Joe. Our top story tonight, we have new details on a fire that destroyed a Benzie County church. The pastor tells us he was halfway through his sermon when a member ran in and said a truck was on fire in the parking lot. The flames on the truck then spread to the church. Our Allie Baxter visited the site today and has more.
Hey, we need to get out of the building immediately.
As you drive towards Frankfort, it's impossible to miss the white building to your left, a symbol of 3 decades of love and service.
Literally right up here is where I was preaching. The congregation was sitting in there. We had about 40 people here.
On this particular Sunday at Crystal Lake Church, Pastor Tyler Anderson was speaking on the book of Philippians.
We were also going through Paul telling everybody that, I counted all loss. Everything else is loss compared to knowing Jesus Christ as my Savior. So the surpassing knowledge of knowing Him.
Halfway through his message,
one of our church members ran in and said that there was a truck on fire.
For reasons still unknown, this truck's engine caught fire. It was parked close to the church, so flames reached towards it.
So we had several gentlemen who had grabbed fire extinguishers. We started our garden hose on the side of the church and started bringing that over there. And it wasn't long after that we realized that this was something that was going to be out of our control.
Well, the wind would pick up suddenly, and it would just keep pushing up against the building from the vehicle that was on fire. And the vinyl siding started to melt and catch fire, and it just started spreading from there.
It took the Frankfort Fire Department and other nearby crews 5 hours to put out every hot spot, leaving behind a hole of charred pieces, except for one spot.
And I saw it through the window.
Hanging on the wall, persevering through fire and water, a subtle reminder.
Remember to trust the Lord with all your heart, so we're gonna save it.
Along with any memories made inside these doors.
People's babies were dedicated here, funerals and just life events that happened here.
A church dedicated to serving others now is experiencing the support they've always given.
We're committed to loving our neighbors, and yet we've seen through this event our neighbors turning that around and pouring in love to us as well.
Thanks to our Allie Baxter for that report. Pastor Anderson says church members still will find a way to meet, and he's had people already reach out with spaces to do so. The church is also accepting donations at this time. We have a link to support on our website, UpNorthLive.com. In Cadillac, the Salvation Army is getting ready for its biggest food drive of the year, but they need your help. As the holidays approach, the organization needs volunteers to help make sure local families have food on the table this Thanksgiving. The Ed Kellogg Food Drive will take place November 7th and 8th at several stores across Wexford, Missaukee, and Kalkaska counties. The drive helps restock Salvation Army food pantries and fill Thanksgiving meal boxes for hundreds of families in need. To talk a little bit more about this, we're going to bring in Cadillac Salvation Army Captain Greg Bach onto the show to talk a little bit more about this. We'll start just on, surface level. That's kind of broad. Can you tell us a little bit more about this food drive?
Yeah, this is a long-standing food drive put on by the Kellogg family. We're just the beneficiaries of it. We help plan it, that kind of thing. Long-standing food drive that has helped the Salvation Army get Thanksgiving food into the homes of those who need it most right at the holiday time. Yeah, and we don't have to go through all of them if there's a lot, but can you talk about where some of these locations are going to be for this food drive? Yeah, sure. There's 5 locations: Walmart, Family Fare, Save-A-Lot, Rogers, and Lake City, and Ebles and Falmouth. So 5 locations this Friday and Saturday.
And now if we can talk a little bit about those volunteers, how crucial are volunteers for this food drive and anything, you guys do that require them?
Yeah, I mean, the volunteer is the heartbeat of the organization, or the lifeblood that beats from the heart of the organization out to the community. Without volunteers, we couldn't do anything. We have to have volunteers at these 5 locations to hand out the slips of paper that have our needs on it for the food. Volunteers collect the food, volunteers count the food, volunteers pack the boxes, volunteers hand the food out. We're just the vessel that the community and God uses to kind of get that food to the community, or the pass through. So without volunteers, man, food drives, kettle season, and all year long, we couldn't do what we do without volunteers.
And is there, if you wanted to volunteer, is there a certain amount of time you have to be there, or is it, on the days of the food drive, you're there to help as long as you can?
Yeah, there's an online link to sign up on our Facebook page. You can sign up for 1 hour, 2 hours. But listen, I'm not going to sit here and say, you can't do but 30 minutes, we can't take you. No.
Yeah.
Any amount of time that you can volunteer at the food drive this weekend, I'll take it. Like, we just need people out there, bodies out there, passing out the flyers.
And with this food drive coming up, I wanted to ask you from your perspective, what's been in the news for a while is the ongoing government shutdown and how it's impacting food stamps. Have you seen, or do you expect more people in need right now?
Absolutely. Last week, 2 days in a row, we had over 20 families. One was 26 families, representing about 75 people visit our pantry in one day. We usually have about 10 to 15 families. So this was almost at the double amount of people visiting the pantry. Like I said, representing a lot of people, 75 people and their families. So we've seen the numbers tick up. And as the shutdown continues, hopefully not too much longer, but if it keeps going on, we expect those numbers to continue to rise. And we just want people to know, here in Cadillac, up there in Traverse City, all over the state of Michigan, Salvation Army is ready to meet the needs of fighting hunger and fueling hope.
Yeah, and you mentioned you all are ready. Is there a plan in place? Do you function any differently, or is it the same old when it comes to the extra people and how you're ready to, accept them?
I can tell you, it's kind of, we're always battle ready. We're an army, we're Salvation Army. We're always battle ready. But I can tell you, without the generosity of the greater Cadillac community, we couldn't do what we do. From donations coming in, monetary donations to food donations, we're ready to go. So it's going to be kind of the same, but of course here and there things are going to be different. I want to mention also, we have a Monday through Friday hot meal program here in Cadillac. I know Traverse City has a feeding program, a hot meal program as well. But so we're always on the ready for battle. And just in this case, it's the battle against hunger and food insecurity. But we're always ready to go.
Yeah, you mentioned that program, and so whether it's about the food drive coming up or in general what you guys do at Cadillac Salvation Army, is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you would like people to know while we have you?
Yeah, Thanksgiving Day meal on Thanksgiving Day here at Salvation Army. We're handing out lots of food boxes for Thanksgiving a few days before Thanksgiving. But for those that might not get those or just want a place to connect and belong, Thanksgiving Day, 11:30 to 1 at Salvation Army, 725 Wright Street in Cadillac. Free meal. Come, be connected, and get full on Thanksgiving Day.
And before we let you go, one more question for you. I know you already said it, but it's the most important thing. Can you repeat how people can volunteer if they'd like to?
Yeah, go on our Facebook page, the Salvation Army of Cadillac, Michigan. We will pin the sign-up link at the very top, so you don't have to go searching for it. It's very easy. It's a sign-up genius link. Click on that, sign up, and it's as easy as that.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for taking some time to talk about this a little bit. That was Cadillac Salvation Army's Captain Greg Bach. Well, happening this week, the bells will soon be ringing in Grand Traverse County. The Salvation Army Traverse City Corps Red Kettle campaign begins this Friday. The fundraising goal is $275,000. Red Kettles will be located at 13 local stores around the Grand Traverse region. Bell ringers are needed this season at all locations.
100% of that we raise in our Red Kettle goes to help all our different programs here. We have 3 different food programs that feed over 15,000 people. We provided over $120,000 for people in need of rental assistance or car repair, utility assistance.
If you'd like to help out, you can find more information about the Red Kettle campaign on our website, UpNorthLive.com. Also, on our website, you can vote on our question of the day, which is related to that story. The question today is, do you make a donation to a charitable organization during the holiday season? If you'd like to vote, you of course can on our Facebook page or our website, UpNorthLive.com, or you can whip out your phone right now and you can scan that QR code on your screen and you can vote there to make your voice heard. We'll be taking a look at the results a little later on in the show. Since the government shut down, a lot of families here in northern Michigan that we talked about that rely on SNAP benefits have had a few more things to worry about. That's put a strain on Helping Hands organizations like food banks. But in Alpena, folks are stepping up to make a tough situation a little easier. Matt Velez reports.
This last week, the phone has gone crazy with appointments, and I'm doing the best I can with my volunteers also to try and keep up with the phone calls and everything else.
Here at St. Vincent de Paul in Alpena, Kathy McClure is working a lot of hours to try to feed a lot of people. With no timeline of when things will go back to normal, the hope stays the same.
It's an unfortunate situation. We're really got our fingers crossed that this is going to get straightened out for everybody, because it does cause a lot of concern for so many families. But we're doing the best we can.
The good news? The pantry here and elsewhere are getting some help from the community. It's not just other pantries helping one another, but supermarkets as well as stores are answering the call.
With Meijer, and we work through Walmart through the Feeding America program, Dollar Generals, Save a Lot, and others. Just all the stores are willing to help.
And a little request for individuals looking to donate.
It doesn't have to be anything expensive. It's what works for you. I mean, a can of vegetables is going to go to a family. Anything.
A tight-knit community becoming even tighter.
How would you want your family to be treated? And think about that.
Down the road, Hubbard Lake Bible Church is also feeling the effects of the shutdown uncertainty.
Yes, it will affect us if it continues into, let's say, November and through November.
But Pastor Wiggle remains positive that things will take a turn for the better.
We're optimistic, and we're hoping November things are going to open back up.
The pantry at the church ready to give no matter the conditions.
Rain or shine, every second and fourth Wednesday each month between 1 and 3 p.m. for the regular pantries. And then again, the Golden Pantry is on Tuesday, the first Tuesday of each month.
The number of families has exceeded expectations at the pantry for almost 10 years.
Since that time of about 30 families 9 years ago, we're up to over 200 a month.
Pastor Wiggle says the pantry is open to the smallest of donations, knowing that anything helps and the little things go a long way.
And a lot of times that could mean volunteering, that could mean a box of potatoes or whatever.
In Alpena, Matt Velez.
While monetary donations can have a big impact, just like you heard right there, pantry directors say even volunteering your time to help can make a big difference. That story takes us to our first break of the show. When we get back, we'll check in with our chief meteorologist on the rest of this week's forecast in early November. Stay with us.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back to Unscripted. To start our work week, we had some rain this morning, but things looked pretty nice when we were looking a little earlier in the show this evening. As we bring in our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix, how will things look tomorrow as we continue the work week?
Yeah, you know, a clear night tonight, some sun maybe tomorrow morning, a little. It's kind of going to be the opposite of what we had today. We started the day with rain and ended it with sun. Tomorrow, sun, and then we cloud up in the afternoon.
Okay.
So, a little sun in the morning.
Yeah.
There's a little right there too, Cody. Take a look. Yeah, this is our sunset tracker. And I show you this because we did lose that hour in the evening. But in the mornings now, it's a lot brighter in the morning. Basically, we took that hour from night and put it on the morning. Sunset tonight, an average around Northern Michigan, 527. A week from now, 519. And then you can see 3 weeks from now, just before Thanksgiving, sunset at 506. Although, you know, we're really only about 7 weeks away and the days start getting longer again. So if you can want to look at it that way. Here's our 3 big things in weather coming up this week. Dry tomorrow with increasing clouds. I kind of alluded to that a minute ago. Next rain rolls in tomorrow night, Tuesday night. And then there are rain chances about every other day. So you'll see this on the extended forecast, but dry tomorrow, chance for rain Wednesday. Dry Thursday, chance for rain Friday. Dry Saturday, and then maybe some rain and snow on Sunday. And it does appear we're going to get a quick shot of cold air coming in Sunday and Monday, and perhaps some accumulating snow late next weekend into Monday. So I'm giving you about a week's heads up on that. Here's how this looked at earlier today. The reason we had rain this morning is because of a cold front. Right there. There's the rain. It headed off to the east. In the wake of that now, here's what it looks like currently. Skies are clear out there and relatively quiet. Our cold front, there it is, that blue line extending all the way through New York State, heading off New Jersey, that area, quickly moving away. We'll get a quiet, dry night in. Now tomorrow, some sun early. See the clock up there. And then we'll cloud up, and then here's our next chance for rain after dark tomorrow night. But rain rolls in into part of Wednesday. So most of that north in the morning, and then some showers in the afternoon and evening. I would say, though, if you take Wednesday as a whole, the first half of the day is more likely chance to see some of that rain. And then I want to take you out on the jet stream here. Let's run this out. So you see where it says Traverse City, Chicago, that's the Great Lakes region. Watch up by Hudson Bay. Watch this. Right there, that drops in. Sunday into Monday, a quick shot of cold air, and it looks like it's going to be cold enough for some lake effect snow before that kind of moves on. And as we look at temperatures, we'll start on Saturday, you know, 30s and 40s. Sunday, a lot of 30s for highs. And then next Monday, maybe 20s. That's 1 week from now. So that'll be well cold enough for some lake effect snow perhaps. And there's the every other day thing I was talking about. Dry Tuesday, dry Thursday, dry Saturday. Chances for rain in between. And then again, Sunday, more so into Monday, that chance there, Cody, for some snow. So, you know, yeah, it looks like a week from now, chance for some snow. So time to get the winter tires, maybe the shovel ready, things like that.
Yeah, appreciate the notice there.
Right.
Ahead of time. Well, it was a fun weekend of high school football first round playoffs. And now we have our prep plays of the week from last Friday. So to break those down, we'll bring in our sports director, Harrison Beebe, after the break. We'll be right back. Well, it was a fun weekend of high school football playoffs, and now we have our first round playoff edition of Prep Plays of the Week. To break down the nominations tonight, we bring in our sports director, Harrison Beebe. Harrison.
That's right, Cody. Got a good list of candidates for what will be our final Prep Play of the Week voting, with the schedules now whittling down. This is our best crop of games that we had. We had 10 total games covered between Friday and Saturday for football, and these are the Prep Play nominees and your up-to-date voting. Now, you have about 3.5 more hours left to affect this voting poll. If you scan on that QR code, you can cast your vote right now on your phone or head to our website directly, UpNorthLive.com. Traverse City West, Aiden Jacobs leading the way. The Titans lost the big playoff game to the Trojans, but Aiden made a great one-handed catch in the end zone. And I believe Drew Esper, I was off last Monday, but I believe Drew Esper won the title last week in this voting. So the Titans looking to make it 2 for 2. Glen Lake's Sam Dykstra. I know Allie Baxter is really rooting hard for Sam. She covered that game, so she wants that highlight to be #1 this week. And clearly Glen Lake fans are rallying behind him with 38%. TC Central's Trent Glee, East Jordan's William Webb, and Pickford's Gunnar Bennon need a little more support from their community, but there's still plenty of time to get those numbers up, so be sure to do so at UpNorthLive.com. And unfortunately, we couldn't nominate the Leland team for Prep Team of the Week, but if we could, I mean, the boys won a state title in boys soccer. Here's highlights from her shootout victory over University Liggett. Grosse Pointe Woods University Liggett was the team they played in the Division IV state championship game on Saturday down in Grand Ledge. I was down there to see the thrilling action. Great save by Ravel Smith that now put Howie Kropp in the chance to win it with this PK opportunity right here. And man, how much drama is in that one kick right there. And Howie knew right when it hit the back of the net. He didn't know. I asked him afterwards. He didn't know where to go. He just said bench, stands. You know, he was just kind of looping around before they mauled him. And then they got the trophy afterwards. We'll hang on for a sec to see the trophy presentation here. A big moment for Leland. And we caught up with Howie and head coach Rob Shrine after the game to get their thoughts.
They won a championship 7 years ago, and we've kind of been talking about it for those last 7 years. And I'm really glad to leave a legacy and kind of bury that and put a new banner on the wall and be talking about a new class who did it a lot differently.
He hadn't scored a goal all season. He couldn't buy a goal. And well, you're going to get an important one, Howie. You're going to get one. We'll see. And so he saved it till the last shot of the season, his senior year, so that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff from Leland. And Cody, just want to make mention for those that are wondering, we know Charlevoix did win a cross-country boys championship over the weekend as well. Talked to the Raiders earlier today. We're going to run that interview tomorrow here on Up North Live.
Awesome. Love it. And thank you, Harrison. Winning some rings out there. That brings us to our final break of the show. When we get back, we'll take a look at our results from the question of the day. There's plenty of time to make your voice heard. You can vote on our Facebook page or our website, UpNorthLive.com. We'll be right back.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Welcome back to Unscripted. Cadillac Salvation Army is getting ready for one of its biggest food drives of the year, November 7th and 8th, but they need some more volunteers. We talked to Captain Greg Bach with Cadillac Salvation Army a little bit about that earlier on in the show, and we have more information on these food drives coming up on our website, UpNorthLive.com, that you can check out. Our question of the day has to do with that. Our question is, do you make a donation to a charitable organization during the holiday season? 83% of people said yes. 17% of people said no. And to see a little bit more of what you said, we're going to look at our comments. Kaiser Smith said, no, we donate our time all year long to several organizations. We also donate resources to many organizations. Anthony said, I used to. Thanks for commenting, and thanks for voting and making your voice heard if you did. And thanks so much for joining us on Unscripted. Have a great night.